In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how I use Canva Code together with ChatGPT to recreate this infographics in just a few prompts. Hi everyone, my name is Ronnie. I am your go-to Canva guru, and this channel is all about teaching you how to master Canva. I also teach on Udemy. Like the t-shirt says, I am the co-author of the Canva Master course, where we take you from complete Canva newbie to Canva expert. All right, in today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you the workflow I use to recreate this infographic and actually to elevate this infographic to make it even better. And for that, I use a combination of tools, including Canva AI, Canva Code, Canva Sheets, and ChatGPT. So let's get started. So this morning I was browsing the news on my phone and I came across this title: iPhones cost a fortune in Turkey. All right, so this intrigued me. I tapped on that title and came up to this article right here. Okay, and it had this nice infographic with the price of not the latest iPhone, not the iPhone 17, the iPhone 16 Pro in different countries compared to the reference price in the US. So if the US price for the iPhone 16 Pro was $1,079, in Turkey, it cost more than double that. And the amount of dollars you would have to pay is $2,182. Now, why did this appeal to me? Well, just came back from San Francisco for a Udemy event, hence the t-shirt. And while I was there, I seriously considered grabbing a new iPhone and bring it back here to Spain just because of that data. See, in Spain, it costs 24% more to buy the iPhone than it is in the US. Unfortunately, I couldn't grab it because I didn't pre-order and they were out of phones in the Apple store in my neighborhood. So yeah, still stuck with my iPhone 11. Anyways, that doesn't matter. This infographic resonated with me and I thought, hey, could I recreate this with Canva? Maybe, probably. I should be able to recreate this with Canva, right? So this is exactly what we are going to do. I'm going to show you my workflow because I tried different things. To be honest, the first thing I did, because the article is giving us the data set. You see all of this, a nice table right here. So the first thing I do is to copy all of this data set. Just went and copy this. I came back to Canva and I started a new sheet right here. I clicked on sheet. This opened a new sheet and I pasted my data in the first column right here. Just simple paste. And there you go. All my data was now right here and I can start work with this. So let me show you what I did. I clicked on that magic chart button and started playing around with this. Okay, so I needed a row chart. So I went to the bar chart. The one from the infographic is this one right here. So I could generate a similar chart, but it doesn't look quite as good as my infographic right here because I have little emojis, I have the name of the country in the bar, and then decreasing from a dark blue in Brazil to a lighter blue in South Korea, where the iPhone is actually cheaper. So what happens here is that we have the blue color as the color for all of the bars on that chart, but there is a gradient from darker, where the iPhone is most expensive, to lighter, where it's cheapest. Okay, so this didn't quite hit the mark right here. So I started playing around with the data on my chart by clicking on the chart, then clicking the edit button. And here you have a bunch of different options to remove a few of the data, like rank, don't need the rank, cost of iPhone, the price relative to the US, don't need that. So I could get closer, could change the color to some sort of blue, but there was no way for me to create that gradient between like the darkest and the lightest blue. Also, I couldn't get the emojis with the flag of the countries right here, though I was able to get these emojis via ChatGPT. So here I came to ChatGPT, I pasted a screenshot of my infographic and I asked it, can you extract the data from this infographic? I need a table with 4 columns: rank, economy, cost of the iPhone 16 Pro. Basically, I gave it the same label as what I had right here in my data set. Let's imagine you don't have access to the data set. You just have the infographics. So that's what I wanted to show you here by coming to ChatGPT, simply pasting the image and asking it to retrieve the data. So 4 columns, and make sure to include the emoji of the country in column 2. So column 2 with the economy. or the country. And it succeeded in doing this. So it gave me this nice table right here with all of the emoji, the flag emojis, the data was correct, and also a possibility right here to download this table. So I downloaded the table into a CSV document, went back to my Canva sheet, and instead of pasting my data manually, what I did here is to simply create a new chart. Let me show you what I did. So the result is this, what you're seeing here, right? This data right here. This one, I tried to get the numbers of the percentage of the price relative to the US, but my original graphic was this one. And I couldn't get like all the numbers. So that's why I have two different charts. And I tried to combine them, didn't work. So I'm showing you my mistakes here before showing you the right path of doing this. And remember, the answer is Canva Code. We'll get to this very soon. This didn't work, but I want to show you how I leverage the data that was harvested by ChatGPT with the emojis. So basically, what you do is to come here, come to Canva and click on charts, okay? Charts right here. If you want to create a chart, let's say a single color row chart, so this one, new chart right here. So you create the chart and then you can import data. See, so click on that. And then I uploaded the CSV, see, it's a supported file format that ChatGPT generated for me. And it's somewhere here, right here. Open this and now look what's happening. It loaded all of the data from that CSV with the little emojis of the flags. Perfect. So it gave me this. And now if I want to make this chart look more like my infographic, you simply click on it, go to edit, and then decide what you want to show. Okay, so the y-axis here, I don't want to show the rank. I want to show the economies. I want to see the country names. And if you don't see them all, you can spread that graph a little bit more, that chart. All right, and next I needed to delete a few of these right here. So select all, no. Cost of iPhone, price relative to the US, no. Don't need to see that right here, and I don't need to see the rank. So there you go. This is basically what I did to come close, like to get this, basically this far. But I couldn't get the numbers relative here to actually look like they are on the infographic, and even less like having them like sticking to the bars like so. So this didn't work and I had to figure something else. That something else is, okay, I thought, okay, I already gave ChatGPT all of that data set. Can I just ask it to generate the image so I don't have to recreate it in Canva? So I went back to ChatGPT and I said, okay, now that you have the data set, can you generate an image with the exact same infographic? Respect the font style, color, placement of the elements, etc. And it's kind of summed it up nicely. I can recreate a faithful remake of this infographic using the data set we just structured. Here's how I would approach it. Background, so color of the background, the title, the main bar chart, blue bars for most country, red bars for the US and Turkey, etc., etc. Each bar with rank, flag, country, price in USD, price relative, okay, annotation. And then it generated this chart right here. So we see there is a problem with the emojis. It doesn't look as cool. The numbers are not inside the bars. Some colors are confused, like the Turkey should be in the black color, not in red. Anyways, this was okay. The prices kind of followed the bars, which is what I wanted. Or actually, I wanted the percentages, not the prices. Prices should be inside the bar together with the country name. Remember, look, this is how I wanted it to look. I wanted to recreate exactly this infographic. So again, ChatGPT was not the solution. All right, so I tried Google Sheets and data visualization, Google Charts, didn't work or not close enough. Tried ChatGPT to generate the image via GPT-5, didn't work. So this is when it clicked. How about Canva Code? I just finished creating an entire new section of the Canva master course about Canva Code. So I kind of knew what it could and could not do. And this is something that to me sounds like, okay, I can do this with Canva Code. So I came back to Canva from the homepage, clicked on the Canva AI button right here, and then used the Code for Me button right here. Canva Code is available to all users. The difference is that paid users will have more usage per day to use Canva Code. I believe paid user can send up to 60 messages to Canva Code per day, and free users can only send 20 messages per day. But that's more than enough to create this entire infographics. I'll show you. So Canva Code, make sure you are on the code code for me button. And I just started typing my prompts here. So I'm going to take you to the other conversation, this conversation right here, where I show you my first prompt and the first version of that infographic right here. So the entire prompt is the following. And you can screenshot this if you are interested in recreating something similar. With the screenshot, you can dump that into ChatGPT and ask it for the transcript. So that's the easy way of really getting any prompt from anywhere. So the prompt is the following. Create an interactive row chart that represents the price of iPhone over the world based on the data set I'll provide here below. The chart should show, okay, and then I have a couple of bullet points. Bars in blue color. This blue color will become progressively darker as we move to bars representing countries where iPhone gets more expensive. Starting from 015, so I grabbed the hex code from this first color right here, South Korea, and then I grabbed the color from Brazil to actually reference them in the prompt right here for the country where iPhone is less expensive, South Korea, the bottom of the chart, all the way to this other hex code for Brazil, which is the second country where iPhone is most expensive. So that's the first thing that the chart should show. Second, the bar in black color. So I gave the black color hex code for the country where iPhone is the most expensive, Turkey, at the top of the chart. Then third, bar in red color, this red color. Again, I took the exact same color with the color picker from my original infographic for the US, which is the reference price. Each color bar should include the emoji of the country flag plus name of the country on the left side, price of iPhone in that country on the right side. So I want the name and emoji on the left and the price of this iPhone in that country on the right. Here's the data set. And then I pasted the data set that I copied from the ChatGPT table that it created for me. And then Canva went to work. Okay, I'll create an interactive horizontal bar chart, blah, blah, blah. And this version 1 here is what I got. So that's the first outcome that I got. The colors are correct. If you pay attention, this blue right here is lighter than this blue right here. So it nailed the color gradient between the blues and everything, and the red is the right color, the black is perfect. I got the price on the right side of my bars, but I didn't get the names inside the bar. And I have this extra character right here, this little question mark next to the country names. Okay, so I came back because this is how Canva Code works. You need to come back and iterate on your first prompt. You need to kind of follow up so that it actually makes corrections to your design, to your whatever you are trying to build here. So I said, make these 3 corrections. Number 1, there is an extra character, that question mark, after the country flag. Get rid of this character for all countries. Only keep the actual flag emoji. Number 2, the percentage price relative to the US. Can you add a plus in front of the percentage of all the countries where iPhone is more expensive? Example, Turkey plus 102%. You see, right here, it just gave me the percentage. And I wanted the percentage to be either negative, so it's cheaper in South Korea, or more expensive in Turkey. Just like in the original infographics, you see it says plus 102.2%. So I wanted this to be exactly represented the same way, which is not here in my original version, version 1. And then 3, bring the percentage price relative to the US text closer to the color bar. Right now, it's aligned to the right. See, they're all aligned to the right here, like kind of like if they were in a separate column. I liked the design where they were just like sticking to the bars. So this is what I asked Canva Code to correct. And it kind of like rephrased, okay, I'll fix those 3 issues. And I love that they always rephrase your prompt, because first it gives you some indication on how to talk to Canva AI, right? Because it rephrases this in a way that shows it understood or didn't understand your actual prompt, right? So make sure you always read these. Don't just like go straight to the output. I think it's important to read these like rephrasing of how you prompted. And let's see what it did in version 2. So this is what I got. So I see the emojis were fixed. I got the plus in front of my percentages, but it was not sticking to the bars, right? But we were getting closer. So that's a good sign. And so I continued. I said, can you make sure the percentages are closer to to each bar. So this column of text should be dynamic, meaning percentages will not be aligned in the same column. Rather, they will follow each individual bar. And then Canva rephrased my prompt this way. I'll make the percentages follow each individual bar so they appear right after each bar ends, creating a dynamic layout. So this indicated me that it understood. So we should have that perfect result in version 3. So let's see. And indeed, we did. Okay, we have all the percentages. They're following each bar closely. We are getting there. Oh, but the only thing is the first bar right here. See Turkey? Like I cannot read the full percentage increase right here. So came back to the drawing board. Almost perfect, I said. The only problem is that the Turkey bar and percentage is cut because percentage is too close to the edge of the design. Make sure it's completely within the design area. It says perfect. I've added extra margin to the right of the bar container so the Turkey percentage and all other percentages now have enough space and won't be cut off at the edge. So again, it rephrased and indicated me it understood my original prompt. Perfect. Let's see version 4. And there you go. It is actually perfect now. So after 4 versions, I was able to recreate this infographic and it looks super nice. So now if I want to use that, I can just use in a design and export this as a website, for example, and it will look perfect. I will have a scrollable website with this infographic. It is that easy. So at this point, I felt like, yes, I made it. I have succeeded. In only 4 prompts, I could recreate this infographic with Canva Code. And I did. So I went back to my original infographic and I looked at it one more time and I realized, okay, look, this map right here. Wouldn't it be cool if I could also recreate this map with Canva Code? Because it's basically showing me using the same colors of these bars, but in a world map, showing me, okay, the US right here, reference price, and then we have the other countries that keep, like Turkey is in black right here. So I went back to Canva Code and prompted the following. Okay, this is great. I would like to build up on that infographic and add a section to it. Can you now generate a world map using the same colors as in bars and the same data set? Place the world map below the interactive row chart. So I basically asked it to create a different section to this infographic with that world map. And it said, okay, I'll add a beautiful world map below your chart using the same color scheme and data so you can see the iPhone pricing pattern geographically. And I thought, oh, that's wonderful. It's going to nail it and it's going to be great. So let's see version 5. So this is my first chart, unchanged. And there you go, my global iPhone pricing map. Okay, so yeah, not exactly the same, right? Not exactly this world map. So again, back to the drawing board, back to prompting. The data of the map looks correct, but it does not look like a world map. I need the real world map. And then it went back to work. And then, oh no, something went wrong on my side of things. Try asking me again. Yeah, sometimes this happens with Canva Code, just like any other AI tools. Sometimes they break, but it's okay. You just have to prompt it again, which is what I did. I copied the exact same prompt, pasted it here, and then it got to work. It confirmed to me that it would replace those simple rectangles with proper world map that show the actual country shape. So I can easily identify each nation. And I thought, all right, this is probably fix everything. So I clicked on version 6, scroll down, and I saw this. Look at this. It's a little bit better. I mean, we could start to guess these countries, but not a world map. So again, I had this back and forth. This doesn't look like the world. Create a real map. Maybe use open maps or any map design, then apply the colors. So we went into this back and forth for a little bit. Got this one right here. Not good. So at this point, I was a little bit tired of the back and forth with Canva Code. Sometimes it just seems like you're stuck in that loop. Doesn't understand you, or you cannot formulate the right prompt so it understands what you need. Basically, I was in that loop. So what I did, I came to my infographic, took a screenshot of this map, and I went straight to ChatGPT. I pasted that screenshot and I wrote the following prompt. Can you write a prompt for Canva Code to create a similar world map based on the dataset I provided? It already has access to the dataset. It thought for about 34 seconds and came up with this. Here is a copy-paste prompt for Canva Code. It assumes the dataset is already loaded with the columns, rank, economy, blah, blah, blah. All right, so the prompt, create a world map artwork that matches the look of the reference image. I cannot upload a reference image in Canva Code, but it gave me this. Okay, so phone frame, I don't want the phone frame. I can do without the phone frame. Data, okay, it already has the data. Map, okay, this part is where I was most interested. So the map, use a world geo layer or built-in world geo JSON with a simple Mercator projection. No idea what this means. JSON, kind of know what it is. It's a kind of language, Mercator projection, geo, I don't know. So I copied this part, okay, related to the map. And I came back to Canva AI and yeah, I just said, still not there for the map. And then I pasted this thing like use a world geo layer, JSON, blah, blah, blah. I just pasted this thing. And it said, okay, I'll create a proper world map using blah, blah, blah. And then it gave me version 8. So let's see. All right. So now we were talking. I had my real world map, but no colors. So, okay, I went back and said, the map now looks good, but we are missing the colors, dude. Use the same colors for each country as in the road chart. And he said, okay, I'll fix the country color mapping so the map uses the exact same colors as the bar chart. I thought, okay, we got it. Version 9 is the one. So I went here, no colors. So a little bit more back and forth, not correct. The map doesn't show any colors. All right, version 10 to the map. Oh, map data could not be loaded. So I went back and said the map is not displaying and then launch it without much hope, but it started giving me the colors. So look at this, got the colors right here. So version 11 actually decided, and that's funny because my iPhone is a version 11, but version 11 actually gave me the right colors, right? But while generating this version 11 that actually ended up working, so I was still in version 10 without the map. I said the map is not displaying, and while Canva was generating version 11, I did the following because I wasn't confident it would fix it. So I went to the show code button right here. I copied the entire code with this button. And then I came to ChatGPT and I said the following, help me debug this code from Canva Code and give it the proper instruction to fix the code so I can get my outcome. The issue is that the map it creates doesn't represent the countries from the dataset in their respective blue, red, or black color. And then I pasted all of that Canva code right here that I had just copied with just one button. It thought for 56 seconds and it says, you are so close. The map isn't coloring correctly for 3 concrete reasons. And then it gave me 1, 2, 3. Drop the snippet below your Canva code and replace your current get country color and create world map with it. All right, I didn't get to do this. I didn't get to go back to the code and paste that snippet and whatever. But what I wanted to show you here is that you can always grab your Canva code, drop it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to debug that code. Very important because one day you might need that, right? So me, it just so happened that version 11 actually fixed the problem by itself. Okay, this is version 11, gave me the correct map, give me the correct colors as well with Turkey in black, the US in red, and then the gradient blue from the most expensive like Brazil to the less expensive like South Korea here in light blue, and even gave me a little legend right here. So that's great. The only thing is that it's a little bit smooshed like that. So I just went back and said, this is good. Stretch the map vertically a bit so it's not so condensed. Then it gave me version 12. Boom. Better map actually. So I was happy with that. So I could have stopped there because I already had everything I wanted, but no, I'm a warrior. I wanted to go deeper. I wanted to create something that was not on my original infographic, to elevate that infographic, to show the world that Canva Code is better. So I came back one last time and said, Perfect. Now add a third section to this infographics with a top 3 countries where I should buy my iPhone to get the cheapest price. Make that design look like a podium. You know, like when there is a sports competition, you have the first, second, and third, the podium, right? So that's what I wanted. And Canva Code understood me, he got me, you know, he knows me. So I will add a podium section showing the top 3 cheapest countries to buy an iPhone with a beautiful medal style design. Perfect. I was looking forward to see this. Oh, but what's this? Like it changed my bars here and the colors, they now look not great. Anyway, I'll fix that later. But here is my podium. Best places to buy iPhone 16 Pro. Top 3 cheapest countries. Save money on your next iPhone. So we have first place, South Korea. Actually cheaper than the US. You can save $16 if you purchase your iPhone 16 in South Korea. Then we have the United States, which is our reference price. And then we have Australia. I'm going to Australia soon. Save $3 versus US. So this is not correct. You actually don't save $3. It's only $3 more expensive. So this needs to be fixed right here. This is not correct. My map is still good, but this changed. You see, I want to get back to my original design here and just fix that. So 2 little changes, which I mentioned. You've changed the text color in my row chart. Go back to its original color. Also, in the podium design, the Australia text should say $3 plus expensive versus US instead of save $3 versus US. Okay, so yeah, it understood, gave me version 14, fixed my row chart. Thank you, Canva AI. Fixed my text right here, $3 more expensive than the US, and kept everything else unchanged. And now I have this beautiful infographic that I can export as a website, can publish that website easily with the click of two buttons. And now Canva is preparing my design for the world to enjoy. Let's see that website. There you go. iPhone 16 Pro. I have my infographic, can scroll down. Everything looks cool. Best places, I have my podium, everything looks cool, and I have my map. And when I hover over each country, I can see the rank, I can see the ratio, the price difference with the US, and I can see the colors. So there you go. This is how you use Canva Code and a little bit of ChatGPT to help, to the rescue to recreate infographics. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you did and want to go deeper to learn more about Canva Code, well, it just so happens that we added an entire section to the Canva Master Course. Link will be in the description at a good price, believe me, where I think it's section 10 now of the course, which is Canva Code. And we have created, I believe, 4 different Canva Code projects in there. We'll teach you how to code an interactive educational game, a flashcard game. We'll teach you how to make an interactive map. And Diana also teaches you how to create an entire landing page, a functional landing page with Canva Code. So yeah, get in there, get the course. I leave a card right here to get it straight from here at a very good price. So make sure you click on that button. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.